Welcome back to another THI podcast here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today is breaking news because he made it official himself, like he was entitled to do all along. RJ Davis announcing that he is returning to North Carolina using the COVID year, going back to Chapel Hill for a fifth season with the Tar Heels. A whole lot can be accomplished personally. Some significant things can be accomplished as far as the team goes, and some things that RJ can do to etch himself in Tar Heel lore forever. A lot of this you would have already known about, and you would have followed the trend in this direction for the last 3 weeks if you were a premium subscriber to our site. It's just $8.33 a month for a 1-year subscription. There are only a couple of media outlets out there that had any idea really what was going on. And Carolina fans should be very fortunate and should be very grateful that they have a couple of really good journalistic outlets that cover UNC athletics. We are one of them. And we have known a lot about this process with RJ for a while now. The way that David Sisk and I report it, some of it's subtle. We're certainly not going to go out there and steal someone's moment like some others have. We are not going to take information from somebody else and report it like a lot of people do who are not even real media. And that's something that during the last few weeks with all this portal stuff that has really bothered me, and I know it's bothered some others in the media. You can see some of the stuff that they say on social media, and I'm totally supportive of that. I agree with them. You know, when you go to a premium board or you take premium information from a site and then go out and report it as your own, that's stealing. No different than going into a store, grabbing something and walking out. Anyway, we had a very good idea over the course of time that things were trending in this direction. If for no other reason, it's not like Hubert Davis has been hunting down a bunch of shooting guards. So you could have seen it yourself. And if you were on our site, we've been talking about it. If you heard a podcast I did very recently, I came out and said, hey, looks like that's what's going to happen. I'm not going to come out and say he is coming back because he deserves that moment. And RJ had that moment. I think it's a great moment for RJ. It's a great moment for North Carolina. It's a great moment for the ACC. And it's a great moment for passionate Carolina Tar Heel fans. This is a good day for North Carolina basketball. RJ Davis, first of all, is a grade A dude. He's a stand-up dude. He is transparent. He understands how to communicate struggles and positives. He's got a really good balance with that, and I've appreciated that as someone who has covered almost every one of his games at North Carolina, has talked to him many, many times. I appreciate that about him, just like I did about Armando. Harrison Ingram in the 1 year we had with him, very much the same way. But RJ and Armando, outstanding. I'm glad that we get another year of RJ because I enjoy covering him, I enjoy dealing with him, and I enjoy watching him play. So from a basketball pleasure standpoint, I'm glad I get to see him play another year. From an everything else standpoint, you guys have to be stoked. You're getting a first-team All-American back. You're getting an ACC Player of the Year back. You're getting a guy who is 784 points away from tying Tyler Hansbrough for the all-time North Carolina scoring mark. Yeah, that's a lot of points, but guess what? RJ Davis this past season scored 784 points. So if he has a duplicate season, he ties Psycho T. If he has a duplicate season plus 1 point, he's the all-time leading scorer. Yeah, 5 years. Tyler did it in 4. But I've said this quite a few times over the last couple of months. If you've been paying attention to our 3 things, to our basketball shows, the other hoops pods that we've done, and I've had it on our boards. Phil Ford benefited from the freshman rule being lifted when he was a freshman at UNC. So he played 4 years. As a result, he scored more points than a lot of great players that could only play 3 years. No one ever put an asterisk there. His legendary status was never affected by that. Now, RJ is going to get a 5th year. I am pretty confident a fifth year of eligibility will be added by the NCAA. Perhaps this summer. It would be a wise move. And we'll get into more of that at another, like in a daily drop or something in a couple weeks. I think it's probably coming. And down the road in 20 years from now, if RJ does become the leading scorer, he'll be judged as the leading scorer, all time leading scorer at North Carolina. First things first, though, RJ coming back is significant, along with Seth Trimble pulling his name out of the portal and coming back. What you've got now are these parts of a team that was ACC regular season champs by 2 games, won 29 games, a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. You've got the point guard, Elliot Cadeau. You've got the shooting guard, RJ Davis. You've got the combo guy who could also even play the 3 because he played the 3 some this year, who's electricity off the bench, one of the best defensive wing players in the ACC, and Seth Trimble. You've got Jalen Washington back, someone whose offensive game improved a lot during the course of this year. He's got to hit the weight room, got to get stronger, got to get tougher, got to do all that stuff. But he had flashes. Jalen Withers, a very experienced guy, someone who played very well late in the year, averaged almost 7 rebounds a game over the last 7 or 8 games, I guess it was, of the season. And you've also got Zayden High plus 3 freshmen coming in, and of course the portal stuff. So you've got a lot of the DNA from this past year's team that was a very healthy team culturally back. You've got its best player back. You've got its point guard back. And you've got some energy guys, some dudes that accepted roles and handled their roles very, very well back as well. So culture is very important to Hubert Davis. There's a reason Hubert's not, when people are panicking, oh my God, he's not getting anybody. It's not like Hubert's throwing a massive net out there and just taking really good players no matter what. There are a lot of things that go into it. There are a lot of boxes that have to be checked by these guys to fit in Hubert Davis's culture, and his culture has to fit them. But with RJ, think about it. Carolina gets Seth Trimble back from the portal. That'd be a hell of a pickup if he came from somewhere else. Get RJ Davis back. It's like getting a great player out of the portal, but they both know the culture. They both know Hubert. He knows them. There are no relationships that have to be built and fortified. They're already there. This is a great, great thing for the 2024-25 Tar Heels. It's going to be neat seeing what RJ does during the course of the year. It's going to be neat to see how his game changes some. How does his game change in accordance with Elliot Cadeau's changes? How does his game change in accordance with Seth Trimble's changes? What about the things that Jay Wash and Jay Witt can bring? What about other guys that come in from the portal? And of course, the freshmen, notably Ian Jackson and Drake Powell. It's going to be really fun to chronicle how this plays out. But you guys have to be excited. It's not every day, especially these days, a team gets back an ACC Player of the Year, first team All-American, and a guy who has a chance to become the all-time leading scorer at perhaps the bluest of all of the blue bloods. I think it's great. I'm a college basketball guy. I don't watch much NBA, don't have much time, but I'm a college basketball guy, and I'm thrilled to have an opportunity to have one more year covering RJ Davis, and it will be interesting to see what he does personally and how the team does with him as its best player. If you're super excited, RJ's coming back, go ahead and click like on this video. If you're really, really anxious about what kind of team and excited about what kind of team they're going to have next year, go ahead and click like. If you now think with Cadeau and RJ, Carolina has the best backcourt in college basketball for next year, go ahead and click like on this video. To be honest, guys, click like on the video. If you think $8.33 a month for a 1-year subscription, which a price has not gone up in 10 years, go ahead and click like on this video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell so you always know when we upload, which is often, and let your friends know we're here. And the other thing, man, don't steal people's content. There's a lot of fly-by-night outfits out there that are rip-off artists. They see some Yahoo post something on Twitter, and they run with it like it's fact. And sometimes some very legitimate media post stuff on Twitter, and they run with it. Keep in mind that some of us are going to vet the information. We're also going to allow these guys to have their moment. We're going to allow them to have their moment, whether it's Seth coming back and getting out of the portal or RJ coming back. They deserve that moment. People need to remember that, need to respect that. Anyway, I'm AJ, and I appreciate y'all stopping by.